All right, guys, today we're going to talk about recovery and how we use recovery with our clients. Mark,
Right.
what do you think about recovery?
Oh, I think it's a skill. And like everything else you do in the gym, the more you work at it, the better you get at it. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people can tend to neglect recovery. So we're going to talk today about what we've seen, how we ourselves have approached recovery, and how best you can approach your recovery.
All right. All right, Mark, what do you think the biggest thing people get wrong with recovery?
I think people think recovery is negotiable, or it's the part of your workout that you can kind of push to the wayside. So let's say you've got a bucket and you got 100%. I want my workout to be 80% and 20% will be recovery. Oh, and if my workout took 90%, well, that's okay. Recovery can be 10%. That's how I think most people approach their recovery.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what was ingrained in a lot of people, the whole saying, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Right.
I think things are changing now, where people are really focusing on sleep and recovery, because now people are noticing I get that extra 1-2 hours sleep, especially when you're getting a little older. I just feel so much better, in the morning. So I think people are tackling recovery as intensely as they're working out.
Well, you have a lot of new studies that came out too. You've got a lot of people that talk about the importance of recovery. Like you put me onto Ben Greenfield however long ago, and there was a sizable portion of that book that was dedicated to recovery strategies, or how, if your life is demanding, how you can fit recovery in. But for me personally, I feel that the biggest challenge was older age. As I transitioned to not as young, and I started seeing the detrimental effects of not recovering work. So, the injuries started racking up, the motivation wasn't there, and so on and so forth, under training or under recovered, however you want to put it.
Well, yeah.
I had to start, something's going seriously wrong here. I'm asking too much and I'm not giving enough back. And that was the equation that became apparent to me.
Well, somebody like you, you needed that to kind of save you from yourself, because when the injury started, you had a goal in mind to, what was it?
Press overhead, deadlift, X amount.
You had a goal to press, whatever. But then the injuries started happening and you started getting frustrated. Then it's like, okay, well, and your coach is like, yeah, Mark, you need to rest. And I know it's tough for you to rest. You kind of learned it the hard way. And now I think you implementing it beautifully in your program.
Right. Well, it's still a relatively new concept, as it shouldn't be, but it's something that I'm making part of my routine. But no, I absolutely started seeing how it was setting me back. And, I guess the point is, when you're younger, right, you can get away with it. You can, you're 21, 22, you can push through you can do all this crazy stuff, and you don't really have a steep tab to pay at the end of it, but that's definitely starts aggregating as you become less young.
Yeah, when we're young, we could get away with a lot of things, and we think we're invincible. I thought I was invincible. You get injured, the next day you're good to go. Now, it just takes so much longer to recover,
Oh, another thing that I think people get really wrong about recovery is that they assume that, it's as simple as sleeping, right? Let me get a good night's sleep and I'll be recovered. So I think when you ask progressively more about your body, you've got to give back to it, as I was just mentioning. So things that calm your CNS, especially if your thing is strength, right? If your thing is taxing the life out of your CNS, you've got to give a little bit back to it. So, for me, gentle stretching, meditation, even going on walks, walks with the family, these things help to recover. Anything that puts you at ease after bouts of high stress. I don't think that just going to bed now and sleeping for 8 hours and thinking that's all I need to do, right, if I can even get 8 hours, is the way to go.
Yeah, I think we start in the gym. So you have a nice workout, 45 minutes to an hour. A lot of people, and I know they're tired, they're in a rush, they have to get back to work. But what I've been implementing, I've been implementing it for a while now, is just breathing. Just you lay on your back, we could do, on your stomach, or just lay on your back and just breathe. Think of nothing and just breathe. And I like to use box breathing, which is pretty simple. 4 second in, 4 second hold, and 4 second out. Just do that. Just doing that will bring your heart rate down and just totally chill you out. A lot of people kind of neglect that portion, but it starts there. And then we'll talk later about what you could implement at home, right, to reset.
All right, Edie. So what do you think are the most important aspects to recovery?
I think sleep is number one.
Okay.
A lot of people used to put sleep last. They would put training, nutrition, and sleep. But my thing is, the first thing I ask my clients when they come in, how was your
How
sleep?
much did you sleep last
First,
night?
yeah, how many hours did you sleep and how was your sleep? But it all depends on what they say. Like, I mean, if you sleeping 3-4 hours a day, you're just not going to be performing as well as you want to perform. Sleep is the number one thing I think that could affect your recovery.
What can people do to optimize their sleep?
Optimize your sleep. Sleep starts in the morning.
Okay, that's interesting.
Sleep starts in the morning. It doesn't start at night. It starts in the morning. First, you wake up, and your cortisol is a stress hormone. I like to call it the readiness hormone. Cortisol should be high in the morning. So you want cortisol high in the morning. That is what wakes you up. It's not the devil. That's what wakes you up. So ultimately, you want to get, if you can, get some sunlight in your eyes. You want to get 10-15 minutes of sun. If you don't have access to that, if it's in the winter, then just put on a bright light. That'll kind of wake you up. First, it starts there. That kind of starts your circadian rhythm. So it starts in the morning. Then a walk. If you can, again, just go a nice gentle walk just to calm you down. You don't want to immediately just stimulate yourself with, okay, I have to check my emails, I have to check my texts, I have to do this. I know a lot of people are busy and they want to do that, but just a nice, so sunlight in your eyes or bright light, a nice 5-10 minute walk. If you have to walk your dog or if you're family, you could do that. Yeah, so I think that's where it starts.
Okay. All right.
And it starts in the morning. It starts in the morning.
I'd say this for the minimalists out there that are going to say, no, but just give me the shortest version. What do I have to do before I go to bed? I know there's a big plan throughout my day, but I just want the
but it's not
minimum effective dosage. Let's say that, hey, every morning, my day's a mess. My kids are screaming, whatever. Mm-hmm. The cortisol levels, trust me, are through the roof. Mm-hmm. What can I do after a very stressful day when I get home to bring everything down to prime a good night's sleep?
All right, so you wanna go all the way to the night. All right, the first thing you do, you take care of your kids. Sit down with your family if you can. Sit down with your family. That alone will bring your stress down. You have a good meal. You slow down. You put your fork down. After each bite. You could watch TV. That's fine, but try to put your phone down at least an hour before you go to bed. Don't watch anything intense, any action stuff that tends to stimulate, up your adrenaline. You don't want that. So if you want something you could do at night, sit down with the family, take your time to eat. Don't rush. Watch something, nice and wholesome, if you will. Try to eat, if you can, at least 3 hours before you go to bed.
3 hours.
Okay, so yeah, ultimately it takes like 3 hours to complete digestion because you don't want to go to bed
with the full stomach.
With a full stomach. So yeah, you don't want your body to be digesting while you're supposed to be sleeping. So 3 hours optimal. 2 hours is fine. Put your phone away at least an hour before bed, because blue light.
I was just about to say, so that's the thing, right? When you talk about getting sunlight and how that helps start your circadian rhythm, a lot of the way the TVs are now, and even your phones with the blue light, it kind of stimulates you and throws your circadian rhythm off.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So the blue light tends to do that. Try to put the lights overhead. Try to put them off. Have a routine. Also a routine. My routine is I play puzzles before I go to bed.
Okay,
I do the Wordle, I do the crossword and stuff like that. Yes, I'm on my phone, but it has a setting that it removes all the blue light. So it's on extra dim and it removes the blue light. So that is my little routine. And within like 5-10 minutes, I'm out.
You know what does it for me? Each and every time, without fail?
What's that?
I read. And I feel like that's the classic
Reading is the best thing. But again, providing you have, again, nobody uses Kindle anymore. But you have some, you could put there's these lights that are made for reading. Reading is the best.
Yeah, never fails for me.
Yeah.
So we've got sleep down. What do you think is another important element of recovery?
Nutrition.
Okay.
Nutrition.
So a lot of our people out there are going to be, strength and performance oriented. Mm-hmm. What do those people need to consume?
It all depends on what you're looking for. So, if you are a strength athlete, it's all about lifting heavy. You would consume, usually you want to consume, breakfast should be mainly protein. Okay, so the first thing you should worry about is protein. So get your protein in. You can have some carbs, not too much. I tend to keep protein high in the morning, and then the carbs post workout, and then at night.
Carbs at night.
Carbs at night.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard that. Oh my God, like carbs, you shouldn't. Well, I mean, it all depends. I mean, I wouldn't eat the majority of my carbs at night, but I would eat at least half. So post recovery, post workout. Why? Because your body is primed for the carb intake. Okay. So I would leave half for post workout and at night. Why? Because it raises your serotonin. And one of the easiest ways to reduce your cortisol, which is your readiness hormone, at night you should be calming down. The easiest way to bring your cortisol down is for carbs. Okay. And usually people that's why you hear comfort food. When you're stressed out of your mind, what do you go for? A lot of people go for pasta, cakes, and stuff like that. So I would do protein rich breakfast. I would have some carbs after lunchtime or post workout, and then would have at night. Again, providing is 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed.
So here's a thought for you. I feel like I eat almost no carbs these days, right? Mm-hmm. And I function pretty well.
Is that instinctively, or I
feel like it's what I gravitate to. Okay. I enjoyed my protein. I enjoyed my high fats diet, I should clarify. I find myself trending away from carbs. I don't really like, and so this is coming from a guy who used to be really big on sweets. So as I try to get more and more out of my performance, I'm more wary of the things that take away from my performance. And I can't for the life of me quote where it was right now, but I was reading that processed sugars can inhibit your ability to perform. If you're strength training or athletic, whatever it is, yes, it will inhibit your ability.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Well, I mean,
because I'm drawing a blank.
Well, for you, I mean, your type, you're dopamine dominant. Okay, so you kind of instinctively went to protein. What does carbs do? Carbs raise your serotonin, decreases your dopamine. That's not what you want.
Right.
See, so that's why you kind of gravitated towards that without anybody telling you anything. At night, what you should do, that's when you should have your carbs, because you want to just kind of calm down, raise your serotonin. But yeah, ultimately, you don't. One of the reasons you don't want too many carbs, especially donuts and cupcakes and stuff like that. Again, it raises your serotonin. That's why everybody just feels so lethargic in the morning. I mean, I know when you're stressed, you had a tough meeting. I mean, you have kids jumping all over the place. It can be stressful. But when you put them to bed, you should jump right into your routine. I mean, you could have some tea, you could have, some game, play some games with your wife or whatever. Have that routine.
All right, so you're talking about kids jumping around and you don't want your cortisol to spike. So that brings us to the last one, stress management and what you could be doing at night. So look, for me, what I've been enjoying lately is playing Jeopardy with my wife, right? Playing it together. It's fun. It kind of takes the edge off the day. Light stretching for me.
Yeah, stretching is a big thing. A lot of people, I also suggest stretching at night. What stretching does is it just tells your brain, okay, well, yeah. And a lot of people, I mean, stretching is not magic or anything like that. All it does is just relaxes your nervous system.
That's 100% what I feel like. So, I'm a big fan of stick mobility. There's 100 mobility systems out there, but at night I'm a big fan of stick mobility and having that external load against me that I can kind of modify to whatever intensity I want. So I sit there, if I want to work on a straddle, and then I pull on the stick, I'll maybe go to 60% and then just kind of sit there with it and gently feel the stretch. I feel that's super relaxing.
Yeah.
Maybe when I was tighter I didn't, but now it's a very enjoyable process to go through.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of foam rolling. I have one of these Theragun thingies. I mean, I do that. And I do it in front of the TV. So, I mean, nobody's saying you have to have some sort of, special place to do it. Just do it in front of the TV. If you do that all the time, you don't have to necessarily waste your time in the gym, doing that. If you want to do it at the gym, that's fine. But I tend to do a lot of my foam rolling, stretching, and stuff right in front of the TV, and I just find that just calms me down.
Well, like to the point of recovery, like, all right, the more you do stuff like that, the less you need to do it, right? The more I stretch, the less tight I feel, right? I actually enjoy stretching and the mobility work. So, when I do it every night, to your point, it kind of takes away the need to really spend a long time stretching before my workout in the morning. The first thing I do in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, we are busy. The last thing you want to do is just waste time on stretching or whatever. Like, yeah, you want to be sort of adequately warm, but you don't want to waste all your time on stretching. Do it at night, every night. If you like to do it, but I find it kind of calms me down.
But like, you know what? But I guess to segue to another point about consistency, right? So, I've talked before about how people have like this go hard mentality where I'm going to do 2 hours in the gym, maybe 1 or 2 times a week, and that's it. But you're much better off doing 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, tactically, choosing what you do. And for me doing 15 minutes of stretching here, 20 minutes of stretching there, 5 minutes of stretching there, aggregates over time, so that I feel like I need to stretch less, right? I enjoy it, so I'll keep coming back to it.
Just like you've heard the term movement snacks, stretching, stretching snacks. Yeah. I mean, just do every, here, there, everywhere. And you just tend to not have to do it long before your workout.
The last thing I'll say that I do for stress management is meditate. Sit down, focus on breathing.
Imagine that you meditate.
But you know what? So to what you're referencing, the guy that's always wired and always ready to go, you need something to bring you down. So, and again, to work on my mobility, I started sitting in half lotus. And in the beginning, it was very uncomfortable. But, as you try to relax and you breathe and you get through it, it becomes a comfortable position. Then you could just focus on your breathing and you're like working on your mobility, sort of. Yeah. While you're breathing, relaxing, focusing on that, and bringing yourself down. Yeah. For me, meditating is a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something I have done before, but I don't really do it enough. And I want to start implementing meditation definitely into my routine. But that's something I really should.
So what's your biggest stress management tool at the end of the day?
My biggest stress management stress
we know what you mean.
Stress management tool. I mean, just movement. I mean, I would say just walking.
Yeah.
I would say just walking. I mean, if you're in a building, this is cold outside, just use the treadmill, just walk. I just tend to just think more there. I just think of ideas and stuff like that, just walking. I think that's what it is. I mean, for me, that's what it is. What is yours?
For me, it's definitely the meditation.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, look, the Jeopardy that I mentioned before, it's fun. That's something that kind of like elevates, but it's like, it's lower threshold. So like to the point of you saying playing a game before, right? I feel like video games kind of stimulate you a little too much. So, at night, I don't think it's the best thing. Or to your point with an action movie, action movies that you get into, you kind of get wired watching it. I mean, Jeopardy's so low.
It's just low, yeah. I mean, I love video games as well, but yeah, I mean, at night, I remember when I just got, years ago, I mean, at night, and the thing is, you always want, 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
It's 2 o'clock. It's like, no, dude. So
and then you see it's 2 a.m.
So video games and anything action oriented is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Another thing, I love cooking. I think being in the kitchen also is my happy place. I think that's another thing that kind of brings my stress down.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
I mean, I've always liked cooking. My mom was a chef, so I was always in the kitchen with my mom. And stress, I think, is cooking. Cooking, I think, is one of my biggest stress relievers because I'm just there and I'm just zoning out.
I think the fine point is that you've got to find something, whatever it is, that kind of puts you in like, for lack of a better way to put it, like in a Zen kind of place where you can relax, chill, let your mind wander, go somewhere else.
Find your happy place, wherever that is.
Find your happy place.
Find your happy place, wherever that is. Yep.
So Edie, what do you think all our friends out there can do today to help them optimize their recovery?
I mean, try to get an hour, at least for the next month or so. Try to get an extra hour of sleep. whatever it is, because I guarantee you, they're not sleeping enough. So if you guys could get at least an hour more of sleep, and then come back to me and tell me how you feel. Tell us how you feel after that hour of sleep.
I would say my biggest tip to everybody out there is to find something to help you unwind at the end of the day. So as somebody who never used to focus on that and just would do everything he had to and then just, hit the sack, find something, carve out time, 15, 20 minutes, half hour maybe, to do something that'll take the edge off your day. Meditation, sitting somewhere focusing on your breathing, stretching, cooking, whatever it is, find a place of Zen and just hang out there for a little bit before ending your day. Your CNS will definitely thank you for it.
Yep. All right, guys, if you're serious about your training, you should be serious about your recovery. So, I want you guys to implement at least one of the tools we spoke about tonight, at least one of the tools, and just come back and let us know, how you feel.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a total overhaul. You don't have to take everything and try to fit it in, right? I'll tell you from coaching people with habits, the best thing is to try to change one thing at a time. So there's a lot of tips here, a lot of suggestions, both from Edie and myself. Take one, try it out. See whether it's meditation, whether it's stretching, whether it's cooking in the kitchen.
Get 1 hour sleep.
Get 1 more hour of sleep. Try one thing, implement it, and then your ability to recover, your ability to do that thing will expand over time. Pick one thing, get good at it, and then add a little bit more to it, and you'll be recovering better in no time.
And let us know in the comments what you guys use. Are you always stressed? What do you use for, when you're stressed? What stress recovery tools do you guys use? Do you have issues sleeping? Tell us what you guys do.
Yeah, what do you do to chill at the end of the day? After a really stressful day at the office or a really hard day in the gym, what do you do to help yourself recover? So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for hanging with us if you made it this far, and we'll see you real soon on the next one.
Yeah, and just subscribe if you like stuff like that, and we'll see you the next time.
Take it easy.
All right, guys. Peace.